All right, so the medial heel, this is segment 3 or part 3 of making the plain stamp pine, and this is the medial heel. And what the medial heel does is it starts from the heel quarter and starts to flow in. So there's a lot to think about that, but we'll make our medial heel, it's a little bit different, and then we'll make our branch and then show how we can adjust so we can keep the shoe from becoming racked. All right, we've got the lateral branch done. We really don't know if we're 100% accurate, but now we're gonna do the medial branch. We're gonna narrow it up from the heel nail and slowly increase the hammer blow on the edge and then come around the outside, come around the inside. But once the medial branch is done, then it becomes evident of what we have screwed up in the toe. And you're saying, well, hopefully we build the toe right, but it's almost impossible because a lot of stuff happens right in this area when I'm holding on to the shoe, forging my medial branch, because this is not a straight line. And you can put your tongs down here, but you really can't because it's hard to get. You have to have your tongs back and out of the way. So this is the most convenient place to have your tongs when making a heel. I'm going to go about from the toe bend to the heel about just a little bit less than halfway. And I'm going to start angling my hammer all the way through, kind of pinching, and then come around the corner. You see I'm coming down. Now you can see I've just got this ledge that needs to be packed back in. All right, I'll reproduce the deal again one more time, and then just come around the outside edge. So just come in here and just try and make that clean. So that now I've got this line here. So then if you watch, I'm just gonna hold this to where my face of my anvil is gonna be basically making the nice clean line on there. And I come in here and I clean that up. And that makes a nice clean line. All right, we've got the tongs, because when I hit here, it's gonna buckle my tongs up. And if I'm straight, it's just gonna pop them out of my hand. So I got my tongs out at the tip of the bick, close to halfway between, just almost to halfway between the toe bend and the end of the branch, and I'm hitting flat. And as soon as it starts to go down and around, then I can just push my tongs down. Take a look at it. I can see I don't have enough, so I'm gonna just start the whole process one more time. Have it up. I'm on the back edge of the top of the bick of the horn, and then right here, I'm just gonna hold it on the toe and hit it on the heel once. And then, there we go. All right. What I got, I'm flattening it up, start at the toe and just flattening it up. So whenever I hold it on here, I'm pretty close to what I want to be. I want this angle to reproduce this angle. Because when you have the coffin bone in here, what we've got is we've got just the way the fold of the foot and the bend of the foot is, for it to be the strongest it's going to be, that is going to reproduce itself, because this arc is going to be strongest when they reproduce themselves coming into the widest part, which the widest part is where the tips of the coffin bone are. And those will flare and distort to the horse's anatomy, but that's what we have to have a baseline in which we're making our shoes off of. All right, now what we do is it's just like I'm holding, I want to have just a sliver of daylight in between the inside edge of the web and the edge of the anvil. You can see it there. Now what I do is I rotate it around until my heels, you can see how I've got just maybe 3/16 of an inch more on the lateral side than the medial side. I adjust the heels. If it doesn't look like the heels are where I want them to be, I rotate my shoe around. This is huge because right now, if you're making the shoe, then we're kind of letting the tail wag the dog, but now we come in here and I have a really, really good shot at my toe not being racked. Then I find out where the widest part of my shoe is. And now I have my heel nails. And then just put a line somewhere in the center, and that'll give you a good idea of where you should put your center nail hole. All right, so what we're doing is we've done absolutely no forging on this piece of steel. All we've done is bend. But now, if I put my landmarks, I'm going to commit to landmarks at this point, because when I put my landmarks in there, I'm going to use the horn, and we're going to show how I use the horn to accentuate the shape and bring it out to the quarter and go and get rid of this bump right here and go into the toe, and vice versa. But what we've got is, if we would have tried to mark the steel with beginners, what happens is when you make this shape, sometimes you've got a toenail here and a toenail here, and you're like, what happens? And that all happens when you forge the heels and you hold on to it with your tongs. But now we've got a place to mark our stock, put landmarks that are in good shape that keep us out of the weeds, and we have a shoe that's not racked.